having your energy crossing over, so the left side of the brain operates the right side of the body, and the right side of the brain operates the left side of the body, is really essential in being able to fire on all cylinders. So to be able to connect with your creativity, with the logic, to help your body to heal, to think clearly, to feel happy. So if you're at a point where you're feeling like you're trying to change a habit and you can't quite get there, and you keep snapping back into old patterns, chances are the energies aren't crossing over. If you're finding you're not healing very well, chances are the energies are not crossing over. If you're finding that you're going dyslexic, often getting crossing over can really help you to switch. I'm mildly dyslexic, and that's the one that is my go-to when I find that I'm not quite computing. So I'll show you how to cross over first of all. And I first found this in Brain Gym, and since have found it in Eden Energy Medicine, and in a number of other disciplines. And in fact, in yoga, there's lots of crossovers going in the body. There's Tai Chi exercises that always to make sure that we've got crossovers in the body. So if you feel that you're not quite crossing over, a really simple exercise to do is to start moving and just tap the same arm as leg. And maybe do probably no more than 6 to 8 of these, stop, and then change. And this is quite a good indication if you feel that, oh, I've got to really think about that cross, that this pattern is not making sense to you at the moment. But the more you do this, and you want to do at least 3 times the amount of the crossover. So if you've done 8, you want to do at least 24 crossovers. If you've done 8, same arm as leg. And you see, I've just got a nice swing from the waist. I'm just doing loads at the moment, which is fine. And then if it feels right, it's quite nice to fling the arm over, because then you get a nice crossover in the upper body. Okay, so just stop that. That's just one set. And then go back again. And I'd advise that you do 3 or 4 sets if you're feeling like, that sounds like this is something I could do with. And you do it 3 or 4 times a day. This is the exercise for me that really changed things. When I wasn't healing, I was feeling really stuck. And I did this every day, probably for a good 2-3 months, 3 or 4 times a day. And now I can actually I feel a click when I'm not, when I do this, when I'm not actually crossing over. And we will switch during the day. It's perfectly natural to switch. But you want the majority of the time to be crossing over. And the reason behind this is that we have this natural pattern. It gets massaged when we walk, when we run, when we climb trees, all the hunter-gatherer movements that our body is designed to do. And in our modern day world, we often don't move as much as we should move in order for the body to be healthy. And so if you don't use it, you lose it. You tend to lose this pattern when we're quite sedentary and we're on the couch a lot, or we're just walking to the car. That's not enough for us to really massage our system. So when we're doing this, we're actually exaggerating that walking movement, okay? So doing some crosses over, and sometimes this is enough just to do a few crosses. It's also nice to do some behind. Don't forget the back of the body, inhabit that as well. Or very simply, doodling figure of 8s with the arms. And in fact, they've found this really helps children in classrooms when they're getting stuck or going dyslexic, to get them to do huge figure of 8s on the blackboard before starting to learn. Okay, so I hope that's given you enough inspiration to really do this. If you set yourself a program of saying, okay, I'm going to do this for a month and just notice how you feel. So maybe 2 or 3 sets. So a set is same arm as leg, maybe for 6 to 8, followed by at least 24 crossovers. And if you find when you throw the arm over, it kind of throws you out, forget the arm, just get a nice twist. You can do this sitting as well. And if you're lying in bed, if you're wanting to get well, you can do this lying down or imagine yourself doing it, because when you imagine things, it really, your brain fires in exactly the same way as if you're doing it. Okay, so the sky's the limit with this one. You can do whatever your situation, wherever you are, and it really makes a difference. So try it.